Hey guys, it's the Mad Master here. I'm doing another video. It's a more music-related video because I've been talking a little bit about this current crisis that we're in a little too much. I think, no, I do have some videos coming forth as far as what my opinions or questions are regarding everything. So this one is just kind of a rant because, like, over the years, I think metal has kind of come back to some extent. People don't see it as this pariah of music than they did like 20, 30 years ago as much. So one of the things that happened during the 90s is that, we had Metallica's Load, we had Queensryche's Here and the Now Frontier, we had Dawkins' Shadow Life, we had Kiss's Carnival of Souls, we had Winger's, I forgot what it was called, they did a kind of grunge album. We had a bunch of people kind of say, "Oh well, we got to jump on this trend." Not all of it was bad. Not I actually like Kiss's Carnival of Souls quite a bit. I think it's a pretty heavy grungy metal album. Not too far from Revenge in an attitude, even if it's not the same style. Um, Load, I never liked Load. I never liked Reload. Queensryche's Here and the Now Frontier. I'm kind of warming up to after so many years. Dawkins' Shadow Life, So we have a lot of these bands. They either went like groove metal or, they went grunge or alternative or whatever. So, but did you have these holdouts? These holdouts that, what I mean by holdouts, it's like Geoff Tate, like years back. It's like, oh, I was never into metal. I was always into Flock of Seagulls more than stuff, even though he like praised Iron Maiden at one point and stuff. Or you have, these people, just trying to think like, these people in these bands that are just like, they're in these famous metal bands and they're like, oh, we were never metal. It's like fucking annoying. So I mean, I could see like the guy from Korn saying that they were never into metal and stuff like that much, or well, they were into Faith No More obviously, but they weren't into like Iron Maiden as much and all that stuff. I mean, I could, but they were into Pantera. They said that, but I just think it's really stupid and really foolish when these guys still say these things. Sometimes I still read it. It's like this like leftover anti-metal thing from the 90s, and it's really stupid. Like, it'd be one thing if you said, well, I was influenced by metal, but I was also influenced by blah 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 blah, but these people are just like so stuck up their own ass they can't like see that they're like famous in the metal realm, and they don't want to. I guess they're ashamed or something, still ashamed after metal basically came back, you know and is like has more, dare I say, like, I don't know if I want to call it mainstream prominence, but like, just I just think it's stupid. I just say I'm into metal and that's what I like, and that's not all I like. I'm influenced by a lot of stuff, but these people just have to like be stuck up their own ass and like say, oh, I'm not, I wasn't. I just joined this band and they want to call it metal or whatever. So, and I was trying to think like, I think there was someone else that said that more recently. I'm just trying to remember these people that have all said this over the years. And it's pretty stupid. I mean, Rob Halford once said that metal is dead, in like the late 90s. It's like, how they look so stupid now and so dated, people that said that stuff. And it was always kind of a joke. See, the thing was with me during that period of time is I got into a lot of the European bands and, underground, it's a lot of the underground metal too. And I was just like, metal's dead. Come on, like, I just thought it was foolish to kind of like castigate a genre of music just because it's not cool. And it was stupid. I think part of it was a perception because the hair metal bands that really ruined it for like thrash, progressive metal, power metal, uh, death metal, black metal, all the other types of metal, doom metal, all the other types of metal got ruined by hair metal because it's like, that's like glam shit, or like if you played a guitar solo in like the late 90s, like you were like, I don't know, if it wasn't like Pearl Jam kind of guitar solo, I mean, you're like, oh, that's just wanky shit. Yeah. You can play. I don't want anybody that can play guitar. I mean, I love punk rock and I love a lot of simple types of music. Don't get me wrong. But like to like be proud or like to be against people that can have chops or skills is just fucking foolish to me. So that's why you still have like, you know, Geoff Tate is still scrambling to have a career because he's musically confused. Like he doesn't know like what decade is in. Like maybe he'll do a little bit that sounds like the 80s or a little bit that sounds like modern time, but a lot that sounds like the 90s grunge, post alternative, whatever the fuck with these albums that he does. It's like, and then a little bit progressive, whatever. So it's stupid. The anti-metal thing, like among people that are actually in metal bands, is one of the dumbest shit ever, and it always was. Like even when Lars, I mean, I don't know exactly, I can't recall, but it was a recent interview with someone famous in the metal scene that said this, but I know it's going back to someone like Lars Ulrich where he said, yeah, man, Metallica's not metal, we're hard rock. You fucking have metal in the fucking name. How can you be not metal? It's so moronic. So you can not like metal, or you could say, I like some metal, I like a lot of metal, I'm a metalhead, whatever. Any permutation on the spectrum of metal, you could fucking do it. But if you say, well, I was never in a metal band, even though they're called Metallica, even though, well, or maybe at that time with Load and Reload, load of shit, which is not a bad album if it wasn't called by Metallica. Maybe they could say reasonably that they were hard rock, you know, not metal at that point in time, or 70s metal or whatever, because they weren't exactly like soft rock for, you know, what they were influenced by on those albums. But anyways, I hate that fucking shit. I hate when people say it. I'm still mad. After all these years, I'm still mad about that whole period of time. Like how it's just like across the board, like we just have to deny metal is a word, you know. I'm still trying to look for these magazines, but I swear there were these magazines like Metal Hammer. There were people like writing these articles in the mid 90s. I read this article once and I can't remember what magazine it was. I think it was Metal Hammer. It's like, maybe we need this new term for metal called aggro or heavy music. It's like, we can't use the word metal because people will think of Poison. Huh? I thought Poison were like the fucking posers and like not metal at all. Like it's just so confused and fucked. It was a clusterfuck of bullshit. And I'm so glad the 90s are over, but those attitudes prevail. Like even, I think it was even, you know, only 7 or 8 years ago, Geoff Tate did an interview, or I think it was 5 years ago. Geoff Tate did an interview. He was like, oh, I was never really into metal. It's like fucking Queen of the Reich is this metal you could get. You see those old videos of him. He's totally into it. Totally metal. Rob Halford influenced stuff, you know. So people are full of shit. They want to fucking rationalize, excuse, backtrack, and fucking obfuscate all this stuff. It's like, fuck that. I like metal. I always have. Always will. And there was a short period of time where I did apologize for it, I'll admit. Like, in 1996, maybe 5, whatever, you know, I was a kid, but, like, I fucking, like, tried to get into other stuff because I was like, oh, metal isn't cool anymore. I'm still into that stuff, though. That's the thing. Like, I'm still into, like, Skinny Puppy and Aphex Twin, Sister Mercy, all that kind of shit. So, I might have sold out, but I didn't sell out in the same way a lot of other people do, you know? I still listen to Joy Division and shit, you know? I mean, that was kind of the influences on me for not getting into metal. I still like grunge, too. You know, I fucking love Soundgarden and Alice in Chains and shit. So, I even like Nirvana. I don't give a fuck. I'm not ashamed. But the people that were fucking calling out metal and, you know, just like as wanky bullshit or comparing anything that was heavy to Metallica, it either sounded like Metallica or it sounded like hair metal. Like there was no in between or whatever. It's like people are so fucking annoying. Anyways, that's all.